Nepali Congress sets new date for its 15th General Convention. Convention to be held from May 11 to 14 in Kathmandu. Political parties given 7 days to revise PR candidate lists. Election Commission sets December 5 to 11 deadline for closed list review. Qatar grants amnesty to 30 Nepali prisoners under Ameri amnesty. Nepal welcomes decision, hails it as a goodwill gesture. At least 6 people killed in Iran during protests over rising cost of living. President urges calm as demonstrations held in several cities. Deadly fire at Swiss ski resort kills around 40 people. Authorities work to identify victims. And IOC chief says Russians won't represent their country at Winter Olympics even if Ukraine war ends. Good evening, I am April Singh Lama and this is NTV World Primetime News coming to you live from Kathmandu at 1900 hours Nepal time. Across the globe it's 1:15 p.m. in London, 10:15 p.m. in Tokyo and just after midnight in Sydney. Now the news in details. Nepali Congress has set the new date for its 15th General Convention. The party has decided to hold the convention from May 11 to 14 in Kathmandu. Earlier, the convention was scheduled to take place from January 10, but it could not be held for various reasons. Following this, the Congress has set a new date. Along with this, the tenure of the Congress Central Working Committee has also been extended. Dr. Prakash Sharan Mahat, spokesperson, informed that today at a meeting of the Central Executive Committee held at the party's central office in Sanepa, it was decided to extend the tenure until mid-June. Previously, the tenure had been extended by 2 months until the mid-February. At today's meeting, acting chairperson Purna Bahadur Khadka proposed to hold the convention from May 11 to 14. After the central convention is rescheduled, the dates for lower-level conventions have also been newly determined. Nepal Election Commission sets schedule to revise proportional representation candidate lists. Nepal's Election Commission has announced a detailed timeline for political parties to amend their proportional representation PR candidate list for the upcoming House of Representatives election scheduled for March 5, 2026. Political parties had submitted their closed PR list in late December. Following an initial review, the Commission invited parties to make corrections and revisions within a fixed time frame to ensure transparency and legal compliance in the electoral process. Candidates who wish to withdraw their names from the PR lists have been given a limited period to apply for withdrawal. Political parties may replace withdrawn candidates with new nominees from the same category as required by Nepal's inclusion-based electoral system. The Commission will publish a preliminary list of PR candidates, after which stakeholders may file claims and objections regarding candidates' eligibility. All complaints will be reviewed before the Commission releases the final list of PR candidates in early February. The proportional representation system is a key component of Nepal's mixed electoral model designed to ensure broader representation of women, ethnic minorities and marginalized communities in the federal parliament. Moving on, 2 people traveling in a motorcycle have died when a bus hit it this morning in Malika Rural Municipality, Gulmi. 4 people have been injured in the accident. The bus belonging to the Siddha English boarding school carrying students from Ramche for a picnic had collided with a motorcycle coming from the opposite direction in the direction of Purkot under Madane Rural Municipality. According to Ganga Bahadur Saru, the information officer of the district police office, the motorcycle involved in the collision was carrying 36-year-old Basant Aryal and his older brother's wife, 56-year-old Mankala Aryal from Malika Rural Municipality 6 Maua. They were brought to Gulmi Hospital, Tamghas, for treatment, where the doctor declared them dead. Districts of Nepal's Tarai Plains, including Baghé district, is facing severe disruptions due to dense fog and a chilling cold wave affecting daily life across the region. Schools, markets and transport services have been delayed or limited as visibility remains low and temperatures drop. Children, students, daily wage workers, the elderly and vulnerable populations are among the hardest hit. with many forced to stay indoors to cope with the extreme cold. Morning markets and shops are opening late and public areas are largely deserted by evening as temperatures continue to fall. Transport services have been particularly affected, with drivers reporting difficulties navigating through thick fog. Health facilities are also seeing a surge in patients suffering from cold-related ailments. Meteorologists have warned that the dense fog and cold wave may persist for several days, urging residents to take precautions. We will take a short break here. More news coming up. You're watching NTV World Primetime News. Welcome back. The Department of Drug Administration, DDA, has released a notice concerning the recall of certain medicines from the market. The department on Friday issued a notice to recall the drug Levoflox 500 tablets from the local market with the batch number BB2401. The department has also urged all not to recommend, sell, distribute and use the drug of this specific batch number. Manufactured by Magnus Pharma Private Limited, this drug is used to prevent bacterial infections. The department stated that the lab test of the specific batch carried out at the National Drug Laboratory did not meet the quality standards. The sale and distribution of these drugs have been suspended and they must be immediately recalled from the market. The records should be submitted to the department as per Section 14 of the Drug Act 2035 BS. The department has mentioned in the notice by informing the concerned industry and its representatives. Now, the government of the state of Qatar has granted a mere amnesty to 30 Nepali inmates on the occasion of Qatar's National Day and International Human Rights Day. Welcoming the decision, the government of Nepal expressed its sincere gratitude to Qatar. In a press release issued on Thursday, Nepal's Ministry of Foreign Affairs stated that it highly values the amnesty as a symbol of goodwill and cooperation between Nepal and the state of Qatar. The government of Nepal has decided to grant labor approval to Nepali workers who have been working in Iraq for a long time, bringing them under the official foreign employment registration system. Following a cabinet decision taken on December 25, all Nepali workers currently in Iraq, many of whom have been working without labor approval, will now be eligible to receive official labor permits through a documentation process. The decision was made after the Ministry of Labour, Employment and Social Security sought and received consent from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Ministry of Law. Once approvals were secured, the cabinet authorized the issuance of labor permits. The Nepali workers holding Iraqi residency cards will be able to apply for labor approval when they visit Nepal. An estimated 30,000 Nepali workers have been employed in Iraq for decades without labor approval and are not included in Nepal's official records, which has restricted their ability to travel between Nepal and Iraq. Nepal had imposed a ban on labor migration to Iraq on August 31, 2004, citing security concerns after 12 Nepali nationals were killed in Iraq. Despite the ban, many Nepalese have continued to travel to Iraq through irregular routes, including via India and Dubai. Now, sugarcane has been one of the major cash crops in Nepal's Tarai region, including Kapilvastu. Thousands of small and marginal farmers depend on it for year-round income, employment, thus establishing itself as an integral part of a rural economy. However, the sector has been facing a systemic crisis for several years. Rojina Rai with our local correspondent Bikas Banjare explain more on this matter.
Recent government data shows a consistent decline in sugarcane cultivation area and production in Nepal, with farmers shifting to other crops. Sugarcane production fell from over 3.4 million tons in the fiscal year 2019-20 to around 3.1 million tons in 2023-24. In terms of cultivation area shrinkage from 2020 to 2024, it is over 6,340 hectares. Meanwhile, the number of farmers engaged in sugarcane cultivation has decreased by 20% over the last 5 years. The plight of sugarcane farmers is largely attributed to low minimum support prices, government inaction, and delayed payments, which have forced many to switch to more profitable crops. The effects are particularly evident in the Tarai region's Kapilvastu district, once a major sugarcane production area. For farmers, cultivating sugarcane has become increasingly unsustainable as recovering production cost has grown challenging. Sugar industries are also affected, leading to only about 9 mills currently running out of more than a dozen. Mills that previously operated continuously for up to 5 months during peak season now run for only 2 and 3 months due to sugarcane shortages. Farmers in Kapilvastu.
Protesters attacked a government building in the city of Fasa in southern Iran on December 31, according to local officials. The incident occurred amid spontaneous protests reported in several parts of the country, driven by public frustration over economic stagnation and rising living costs. Iran's Justice Ministry quoted the head of Fasa's judiciary as saying that part of the provincial governor's office door and glass were damaged during the attack. Authorities did not specify how the building was attacked or whether any arrests were made. Videos circulating on social media showed damage to the site, though the footage could not be independently verified. Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump has warned Iran's authorities against killing peaceful protesters, saying Washington will come to their rescue. In his post on the X, the U.S. president did not specify what action Washington could take against the Iranian authorities. A senior advisor to Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, responded by saying Trump should be careful if he intervened, warning of potential chaos across the Middle East. At least 6 people are reported to have been killed in Iran on Thursday after almost a week of mass protest sparked by worsening economic conditions. Swiss police are working to identify the victims of a fire at Lake Constellation Bar in the ski resort of Crans, Montana. Officers warn the process could take days or weeks. French and Italian authorities say they have citizens missing, including 16-year-old Giovanni from Bologna. Around 40 people died in the blaze on New Year's Eve, and 115 others are injured. Footage shows a partygoer attempting to put out flames. At a hospital in Geneva, a doctor says patients, same as young as 15, are being treated for severe burns. It is not yet clear what caused the fire. Moving on, Turkish security forces have arrested 8 people in the southern-eastern province of Sanufura over alleged online propaganda linked to the Islamic State group. Authorities say the suspects shared and promoted content praising IS on social media platforms. The investigation followed a recent counter-terrorist operation in the northwestern province of Yalova, prompting intensified nationwide monitoring of extremist online activity. Police units from Sanulurfa's counterterrorism departments carried out coordinated raids with support from Turkey's National Intelligence Organization. All 8 suspects were taken into custody and later formally arrested by a court. Turkey has carried out frequent operations against IS-linked networks in recent years, citing ongoing security threats from the group. Now, emergency services of Ukraine showed firefighters battling multiple fires in both residential and commercial buildings in Zaporizhzhia after overnight Russian drone strikes hit the southern Ukrainian city. Crews were seen working through the night to extinguish flames, secure damaged structures, and prevent the fire from spreading to nearby homes. Emergency responders also carried out inspections of affected areas while local authorities assessed the extent of the damage. Residents were urged to remain cautious as rescue and cleanup operations continued amid ongoing security risks. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro said on Thursday he was open to talks with the U.S. on drug trafficking and oil after weeks of an escalating pressure campaign against his government. In an interview with Venezuelan state TV, Maduro said he was ready for dialogue with the U.S. wherever they want and whenever they want. He also evaded a question about a statement by President Donald Trump that the U.S. had hit a docking facility in Venezuela, the first such attack inside the country reportedly carried out by the CIA. U.S. forces have been hitting vessels they suspect of smuggling narcotics through the Caribbean and Eastern Pacific for the past 3 months. We'll take a short break here. Stay tuned. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un's daughter, Joo Wei, who is likely being prepared as his successor, accompanied her parents on her first public visit to the Kumsusan Mausoleum to pay respects to the former leaders. State media KCNA reported Joo Wei has been marking increasingly prominent appearances in state media over the past 3 years, fueling speculation by analysts and South Korea's intelligence agency that she may be in line to be the country's fourth-generation leader. Chong Seung-chang, vice president at the Sejong Institute think tank, viewed Joo Wei's first presence at the Kumsusan Palace as her father's calculated move ahead of the upcoming ruling party Congress, at which her succession might be formalized. Kim was also accompanied by his wife, Ri Sol-ju, and senior officials on the visit on January 1st, with Joo Wei between her parents in the main hall of the Kumsusan Palace of the Sun, state news agency KCNA photographs showed. Kim Joo Wei, who is believed to have been born in the early 2010s, attended this New Year's celebrations according to state media on Thursday. In September, she traveled to Beijing with her father on her first public overseas outing. Boston residents braved freezing temperatures to take part in the L Street Brownies annual U.S. New Year's Day polar plunge into Boston Harbor. Dozens, some in colorful costumes and others in swimsuits, plunged into the icy 40-degree waters, continuing a quirky tradition that has lasted for over a century. Participants say the event is not just a test of endurance, but also a way to kick off the year with fun and community spirit. Local spectators cheered from the shore, capturing the chilly spectacle on cameras and smartphones. The plunge also raises awareness for charitable causes supported by the group throughout the year. Harbin, capital of China's Heilongjiang province, is drawing a growing number of visitors this winter as the city's ice and snow tourism season reaches full swing. The Harbin Ice and Snow World, the city's flagship winter attraction, opened on December 17 and has expanded by 20% this year, covering 1.2 million square meters with over 400,000 cubic meters of ice and snow. Despite temperatures dropping to minus 20 degrees Celsius, visitors are flocking to the park for its ice slides, sky wheel, and large-scale ice sculptures. Highlights this year include replicas of central China's Yellow Crane Tower, Harbin's Baroque-style buildings, Belgium's Mannequin Piers, and models of an aircraft carrier and submersible. Harbin, nicknamed China's Ice City, welcomed a total of 90.36 million tourists last winter, generating about $19.44 billion in revenue, a 16.6% increase year-on-year. Time for sports update. Russian athletes at the Milano Cortina Winter Olympics will not be able to represent their country even if a peace deal is reached with Ukraine, according to International Olympic Committee President Christy Coventry. The IOC chief said at this stage nothing would change the committee's decision following Russian athletes to take part in the February Games only as individuals representing themselves. The IOC banned Russia and Belarus following the former's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022, and the IOC ruled in September that Russians and Belarusians competing at Milano Cortina would do so as individual athletes without a national flag or anthem. In other remarks, Coventry, the IOC's first woman president, said holding the Olympics in multiple cities, as Italy is doing, would become the new normality, and the Milano Cortina Games would provide useful guidance for the future. Now, Venus Williams is set to become the oldest female player to compete in the Australian Open main draw at the age of 45. The seven-time Grand Slam champion has received the final women's wild card for the tournament, which begins on 18 January. Williams last appeared at Melbourne Park in 2021 when she was beaten by Italy's Sara Errani in the second round. The American, twice the runner-up in the first Grand Slam event of the year, will surpass the record of Japan's Kimiko Date, who was 44 when she played at the event in 2015. Williams has also accepted a wildcard for the Hobart International warm-up event starting on 12 January, where she will be joined by Britain's Emma Raducanu. The former world number one, who has beaten by her sister Serena in the 2003 and 2017 finals, has not competed outside the United States since 2023. Williams made a return to the US Open in New York last year, becoming the third oldest woman to compete at the tournament in the Open era. However, she was defeated 6-3, 2-6, 6-1 in the first round by Czech Karolina Muchabo. Now, before wrapping up, let's take a look at the top stories once again. Nepali Congress sets new date for its 15th General Convention to be held from May 11 to 14 in Kathmandu. Political parties given 7 days to revise PR candidate lists. Election Commission sets December 5 to 11 deadline for closed list review. Qatar grants amnesty to 13 Nepali prisoners under Amiri amnesty. Nepal welcomes decision, hails it as a goodwill gesture. At least 6 people killed in Iran during protests over rising cost of living. President urges calm as demonstrations held in several cities. Deadly fire at Swiss ski resort kills around 40 people. Authorities work to identify the victims. An IOC chief says Russians won't represent their country at Winter Olympics even if Ukraine war ends. That is all for the moment. Our next bulletin will be at 2200 hours Nepali time. Do join us through our social media and visit us at www.nepaltelevision.com for more information and news. I am Iprulagi Singh Lama. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful evening ahead.
Welcome to the studios of NTV World in Kathmandu. Public Service Broadcasting PSB Nepal's new initiative to make Nepal more visible and audible to the global audience. Welcome on board.
This is NTV World, facts that speak, insights that matter.
Telling the stories of a changing planet. NTV World, Nepal's perspective to the world.
Exploring the heartbeat of Nepali creativity. This is NTV World.
The power of story shaped by technology. NTV World.
Unearthing Nepal's hidden heritage. Discovering the timeless Nepal.
Telling stories that endure across centuries, where culture breathes, stories bloom.
When the world moves, we make a sense of it. NTV World.
Taste of Nepal. Every recipe, every flavor tells the story.
Journalism in the digital age. Fast, focused, verified.
Stories hold power. Stories reflecting life. Stories of the hinterlands. Reporting for NTV World.
This is NTV World. Welcome to News Hour.
This is NTV World. Welcome to Primetime News.
One story at a time.
Crossing borders, connecting voices, where Nepal meets the world in dialogue. This is NTV World, Nepal's perspective to the world.
Voices that connect Nepal to the world, bringing perspective, region and relevance to every story. NTV World, Nepal's perspective to the world.
Stand by.
Mic is on.
3, 2, 1, cue.
We are NTV World.
Music, dance, food, art and devotion are the lifeblood of Newar culture, an ancient civilization rooted in the Kathmandu Valley of Nepal. With lively festivals nearly every fortnight, the Newars celebrate life through a rich tapestry of traditions known as Jatra.
Kathmandu has long been known as a place where natural beauty, history, culture, and spirituality come together in remarkable harmony. Rising above the western side of the valley stands Swambhunath, one of Nepal's most revered and ancient sites. Many simply call it Swambhu. For countless generations, it has been a sanctuary of spiritual devotion, a place where the first light of morning touches the prayer flags and where monks and devotees begin their day in meditation and worship. Swambhu is cherished by Buddhists from all over the world, yet it holds equal significance for many Hindus. This shared reverence creates a rare sense of unity within its sacred grounds.
Long before the birth of Lord Buddha, Sakyamuni, Buddhist tradition teaches that countless Buddhas have appeared in the universe and countless more will arise. Some teachings say that within the entire lifespan of this world system, many Buddhas, sometimes described as 1,000, will descend to guide beings. Among these, it is believed that 1,000 Buddhas are destined to visit and bless this sacred site. This Swambhu Chaitya is said to have manifested during the era of the fourth Buddha of this world cycle. According to our scriptures, that Buddha descended from the heavens and alighted upon Nagarjuna hill. At that time, the Kathmandu valley was not land as we see today. It was a vast, tranquil lake. From within those waters, only the self-arisen Swambhu appeared, standing above the surface like a radiant jewel. When the Buddha and his disciples saw this natural, elevated form, they marveled at its purity and power. What we see today from the outside, the golden spire, the dome, the painted eyes, is not the whole of it. Beneath these layers lies a perfectly pure, self-manifested Chaitya, said to be like luminous white metal, untouched by time. It arose spontaneously for the welfare of all beings. Those who come to Swayambhu with sincerity, who bow, circumambulate, or simply offer a moment of devotion, are believed to receive blessings that ease suffering, bring good fortune, and ultimately guide them toward liberation. The compassionate eyes of the Buddha, painted on all four sides, are a reminder that the Buddha's loving gaze extends to all living beings, humans, animals, birds, insects, every form of life. The Buddha wishes that all beings be free from suffering, that they find peace, and that no harm comes to anyone. The essence of the Buddha's message is simple: cultivate virtue, avoid causing harm, and keep the mind pure. If one person becomes peaceful, that peace naturally spreads to others. This is the heart of the Buddha's teachings.
The origins of Swayambhunath stretch back at least 2.5 millennia. Inscriptions and centuries-old statues found throughout the site testify to its long-standing presence and its profound cultural importance. The stupa itself is one of Nepal's traditional religious landmarks, crowned by the serene eyes of the Buddha that gaze out across all four directions. These eyes are regarded as a message of compassion, awareness, and peace for all beings. For Buddhists, the stupa and its symbols become a guide toward understanding the teachings of the Buddha. For Hindu visitors, the temples and images of deities within the complex hold deep spiritual meaning of their own.
In Buddhism, each month contains 5 significant sacred days. The 8th day, Ashtami, is considered especially important. On this day, we recite the teachings of the Medicine Buddha for healing and protection. The 10th day, Dasami, is dedicated to Vajra Guru Padmasambhava. The full moon is honored with equal reverence and associated with the blessings of Vajra Yogini. The new moon is dedicated to Mahakala, the great protector. It is believed that worship performed on these days yields vast merit and profound results. The Buddha's teachings remind us that beings have existed since beginningless time, and the cycle of life has no absolute start or end. What truly matters is learning how to live with compassion, harmony, and happiness, here and now.
In 1989, Swayambhunath was formally recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site, an honor that elevated Nepal's cultural identity on the global stage and helped protect this extraordinary place for future generations.
I'm from America. I was driving past and I saw the temple with the monkeys, and I really wanted to know what that was, so I looked it up and I came here today to see the temple and all the monkeys.
Well, first of all, we went to Nepal because we love this country and we wanted to see the environment. As from Bunath, we heard it's very important for the Nepali people, so we want to see how it is and how people, what people do here and how it looks like.
We heard it's a beautiful place to go, and we really should see it. And so I think we just walk up and see all the beauty of this place.
The surroundings of Swayambhu offer many places of interest. Pilgrims and travelers often find themselves captivated by the calm atmosphere and the panoramic views over the Kathmandu Valley. The architecture of the complex reflects a graceful blend of Nepali and Tibetan influences. The stupa follows ancient Nepali design traditions, while the monasteries and retreat houses that surround it reflect elements of Tibetan craftsmanship. These two styles together give Swayambhunath a distinctive character found nowhere else. Preserving Swayambhu is not only a religious responsibility, it is an effort guided equally by historical and cultural commitment. The temples, statues, and inscriptions within the complex carry stories that span centuries. The main stupa, crowned by the four compassionate eyes, remains the heart of the site. Monks gather each day to meditate and study. Within these halls, elaborate paintings and sacred sculptures portray episodes from the life of the Buddha and remind visitors of the spiritual traditions that continue to flourish here. The entrance to Swayambhunath features a gate designed to convey purity and reverence. Sculptures and painted figures on the gate reveal the guiding ideals of Buddhist philosophy. Scattered around the grounds are ancient inscriptions that preserve the history of the land. Statues of various Buddhas stand alongside images of Parvati and Shiva, creating a space where cultural diversity and shared devotion coexist with harmony. Swayambhunath is one of Nepal's most visited destinations. Its landscapes, spiritual gravity, and cultural richness draw people from around the world. Each year, millions of visitors, both local and international, climb the steps leading toward the stupa. Their presence contributes greatly to Nepal's tourism economy and to the livelihoods of those who live and work nearby.
स्वयम्भूनाथ परिसरमा रहेका स्मृति सामग्रीहरू जस्तै बुद्धका मूर्ति, थाङ्का, मालाहरू, गहना, धार्मिक सामग्रीहरूले व्यवसाय गर्ने व्यवसायीहरूको जीविकोपार्जन भइरहेको छ।
The number of tourists has increased significantly compared to previous years. Earlier, we used to have clear off-seasons, but now we see international visitors throughout the year. However, their spending capacity has dropped to less than what we used to get before. In the past, if a group of 30 tourists came into our shops, at least 20 of them would buy something. Today, only 2 or 3 of them make a purchase out of the same-sized group. Visitors also compare prices more carefully now, mainly because similar goods are widely available elsewhere. This shop is our family's livelihood, so these changes affect us deeply.
Craftspeople and merchants sell ritual objects, thankas, prayer beads, and other items used in Buddhist practice. These items connect not only with Nepali devotees, but also with those from Buddhist communities in China, Thailand, Sri Lanka, and beyond.
It has been about 7 years since I started my business along the circumambulation route of Swayambhu. Visitors are drawn here mainly because of the deep religious significance of this place. There are many gumbas and temples in the area, and Swayambhunath itself is recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. These species are revered by both Buddhists and Hindus, and it is this shared devotion that keeps the entire area vibrant and full of life.
The earthquake of 2015 brought significant destruction to Swayambhunath. Several structures collapsed and many priceless sculptures were damaged. The impact on the site's cultural heritage was deeply felt throughout the country. Yet, the response to this tragedy revealed the strength of the community. Local residents, government agencies, cultural experts, monks, and international organizations came together to restore the complex. The rebuilding process became more than a physical reconstruction. It became a spiritual effort guided by devotion and the hope of preserving peace and compassion for future generations. Today, visitors find improved pathways, restored shrines, and safe spaces from which to explore the site. Nearby, guest houses and small hotels offer comfortable places to stay for those who wish to spend more time experiencing the surroundings. For many, Swayambhu is not only a religious landmark, but a symbol of introspection and inner calm. The peaceful environment encourages reflection. The sacred presence of the stupa gives visitors a sense of quiet strength. The eyes of the Buddha seem to guide those who come seeking balance, clarity, or a moment of stillness. As the sun rises, its light glimmers on the golden pinnacle of the stupa. And as the night falls, the view of Kathmandu from this hilltop feels almost otherworldly, as though the city below is touched by a gentle glow. Swayambhunath continues to stand as a reminder of the spiritual harmony that has shaped Nepal for centuries. It invites every visitor to pause, to breathe, and to discover a deeper part of themselves.
Only after 6 decades of the institutional development of the now popular game of cricket did Nepal get the opportunity to play in the World Cup. Although cricket was introduced in Nepal during the Rana regime, the sport was confined to a limited number of people, namely the elite. It all started with equipment brought by students returning from their studies in Britain and India. Although Cricket Association of Nepal (CAN) was established in 1947, cricket remained centered among a few affluent individuals and in limited tournaments for a long time. Starting with the Bishnu Trophy in 1948, tournaments were limited to competitions like the Madan Memorial Sealed, Jugal Kishore Trophy, Rammani Trophy, and later the Jai Trophy. Even as the sport expanded outside Kathmandu Valley, it took decades for cricket to develop at the grassroots level. After the International Cricket Council (ICC) granted Nepal affiliate membership in 1988, Nepali cricket embarked on its international journey. The rule of mandatory participation in tournaments by the ICC and the Asian Cricket Council (ACC) opened doors to international competition for Nepal. After participating in the Under-19 Asian tournament in Hong Kong in 1996, Nepal has not look back. Winning titles at the Asian and global levels, Nepali cricket team continues its journey towards the pinnacle of world cricket.
Goes down the ground because he was given that line outside off stump, so the first boundary of the contest, a handsome one.
Initially confined to Turikhel in Kathmandu, many international tournaments were hosted in Nepal after an international standard ground was built in Kirtipur. Nepal has also shown its proactiveness in differently abled cricket tournaments like the T20 World Cup for the blind in 2012 and the Asian Cricket Tournament for the deaf. Nepali women's national cricket team has also achieved remarkable success in a short period of time. The latest addition in Nepali cricket is the floodlit Tribhuvan University Cricket Stadium and the Nepal Premier League that has provided opportunity for Nepali players to rub shoulders with world-class players.
Vaccination has played a critical role in reducing preventable diseases and saving millions of lives worldwide. Yet, globally, millions of children still miss out on routine immunization, leaving communities vulnerable to outbreaks. South Asia has recently shown remarkable progress, and Nepal stands out as a country that has not only recovered from pandemic disruptions but achieved global vaccine targets ahead of schedule. On today's episode of Insight, we are joined by Dr. Abhiyan Gautam, who is the Chief of Child Health and Immunization Service Section, to discuss global immunization trends, Nepal's public health achievements, and what can countries do to achieve universal vaccination. Dr. Gautam, welcome to NTV World Insight.
Thank you.
To start with, what kind of vaccines are we using to immunize our children, and how do you prioritize or decide what kind of vaccines to give to children?
We have started with 4 antigen from 3 districts in the country back in 2034 BS, that is 1977, and gradually we have scaled it up to 77 districts, and now we are providing against 14 antigens, and we are providing 11 vaccines against vaccine preventable disease, and is totally free of cost, as we have included that in our constitution that basic health services are free of cost, and immunization is also basic health services, and that is totally free of cost, and the vaccine is of quality because we have Immunization Act, and as per the Immunization Act we only use WHO pre-qualified vaccine, that is WHO accepted vaccine, and that vaccine that Nepal is currently introducing should be registered in Department of Drug Administration, that is National Regulatory Authority for Nepal, and that means the vaccine that Nepal is using through National Immunization Program is safe, efficacious, and of quality.
Mm-hmm. Are the vaccines used in lower and middle income nations different from others, or are the safety and protocol and standards are similar everywhere?
It might differ in other countries, but in Nepal, as I said, we have Act, and which has enabled us to introduce quality vaccines, and that is WHO pre-qualified. WHO has regulation system, their own regulation system, and the country has its own regulation system as well. Each country has its own regulation system. Our country does not accept other vaccines other than WHO pre-qualified. That means the quality, the vaccine that is being used in Nepal, that is being introduced in Nepal, is of good quality, but other country might lag those system, those regulatory system in low and middle income country. So I can say about the other country, but the basic principle in other country are also the same. Most of the country in the SARE region, that is our neighboring countries, are also following the same system.
A recent WHO and UNICEF data shows that 89% of infants received at least one DTP vaccine in 2024. However, 14.3 million zero-dose children remain unvaccinated, and coverage still trails key global targets. Where do you see the challenges, and how do we cope with this?
There are some challenges in some pocket area around the globe. There are some religious minority, there are some hard-to-reach area and high-risk areas around the globe, and not only that, after COVID-19, many of the services were interrupted all around the globe because of lockdown and because of service interruption. Maybe because of that, and there are some national disparities inside the country, and there are financial challenges in the country as well, and the question of sustainability has raised in other countries, and that has actually led to zero dose and dropout.
So when we talk about resources, how does Nepal government prioritize budget allocation for immunization campaigns?
Yeah, as I said, immunization is mandated by constitution, as it has written that it is basic health services are free of cost, and it is priority 1 program of Nepal, and Ministry of Health and Population has always prioritized vaccination as its first agenda. And that is why there is high level of political commitment, as well as there is high level of financial commitment in terms of Nepal. So I don't think there is challenge in introducing a vaccine, and also along with the high commitment, high political and financial commitment from Ministry of Health and Population, we also are a Gavi eligible country, that is Global Alliance of Vaccine and Immunization is the alliance who actually support low and middle income country to introduce new vaccine, and there are now 53 countries, such countries along with Nepal, and we are in preparatory transition phase. They actually categorize country based on gross national income, and Nepal is eligible according to our gross national income. So while introducing such vaccines, that is new and underutilized vaccine, Gavi support us financially, and not only financial, they also provide us with procuring vaccines and ancillary items as well. For example, cold chain equipments and other support. And they also support with the operational cost as well. And that is why Nepal has been able to conduct recent campaigns. For example, measles rubella, inactivated polio vaccination campaign, and most awaited HPV vaccination campaign all across the country.
What other alliances are we part of, and how is the collaboration benefiting the country?
Yeah, Gavi was supporting Nepal since 2001, and it's now we are about to celebrate Silver Jubilee as well. And along with that, WHO and UNICEF are our core partner, and recently new partner like WaterAid, Japaigo, GIZ has come up with different packages to support immunization program of Nepal.
There are skepticism about the quality and standards, especially for a country like Nepal. What do you say about it? How do we build trust, or is there something to be concerned at all about?
Yeah, we have to inform the public. We have to inform with what vaccines we are providing and what's the quality of that vaccines. And we have been saying the same thing, that is, as per the Act, we always quote the things that this is WHO pre-qualified and it's of good quality, but people are reluctant because they think that whenever we receive vaccine, that is definitely it's going to be trial. We are going to be trial. They think in that way, but what we are saying from the program is, yeah, of course, the people has to do trial. The manufacturer has to do trial, and that trial has to be conducted in other country, not in Nepal. And once trial is completed, WHO has to go through all the processes, and after vigorous processes, after checking everything, WHO pre-qualified it, and pre-qualified vaccine are only utilized in Nepal. And we have been saying it time and again. And whenever there is campaign, big campaign, for example, HPV campaign last year, we did that, and there were a lot of rumor regarding the vaccine. The vaccine, the common rumor was the vaccine caused infertility, and the vaccine is on trial. And we said that the vaccine was already introduced in 145 countries, and we were the one who introduced a vaccine for the first time, and we were 146th country. And that means other countries have already utilized, they have experienced the quality, efficacy and safety of the vaccine. And Nepal has recently introduced the vaccines, and there was some question regarding the trust issue. And as you said, so we try to debunk the masses. We try to give correct messages, and all the stakeholders, including celebrities, sportsmen, they all jointly came up to convey the message that the vaccine that Nepal is providing is of good quality, and all the adolescents should receive that vaccine. The voice was, we got same voices from all the celebrities and all the politicians and stakeholders, not only the national but also the international celebrities were with us during the campaign, and that is how we are doing every day.
So rest assured, the public can be confident that Nepal government takes vaccines quality seriously, and that they can, without any doubt, immunize their children.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, is it true that South Asia has recently recorded one of the highest improvements in immunization coverage worldwide? And if it is, what factors has driven this regional success?
Yes, Southeast Asia, actually we are under SARE, Southeast Asian Regional Office, and there are 10 countries and who actually are, that's a group, that's a regional office who actually govern all the WHO office of the country. Nepal has also the same system, and they set a goal, they set a resolution for the country, and the resolution was to decrease zero dose, to decrease under-immunized children in the community. And we also put our views, and we actually aligned to we work jointly to reduce the zero dose under-immunized children. In terms of Nepal, we have a program called Full Immunization Declaration Initiative. That means all child should receive all the antigen that is provided by country, and that is also mandated by Act as well. All the beneficiaries, all the guardian, all the parents should ensure that child should receive all the eligible vaccine that government provide. That is as per the Act, and that is right actually. The program is not a program. The nationalization program is not a not only a program, but it's a right of the children. So that is mandated by Act, and we have been working for that. The Full Immunization Declaration is an initiative which actually start from household. Female community health volunteer, she goes to each and every household to ensure the eligible children are vaccinated or not. And after verification, after checking the vaccination card, she ensures that the child is fully immunized. If not, she refer the child to the health facility. And these activities are being conducted throughout across the country, and starting from the household. Then if all the household of ward are found to be fully immunized, they celebrate it as a full immunization ward. Similarly, if all wards within a same municipality are fully immunized, then they celebrate it as a full immunization municipality, then district, then province, then nation. And this was the first time, in the last fiscal year, it was the first time where we declared Nepal as a fully immunization country, and it was the first time in history since we started this campaign, that is full immunization initiative campaign, and it was started in 2012. Other country also, there are many initiatives. There are initiative called Big Catch Up program, where Gavi also support with the vaccines, support with the programs, activities, and WHO also support, UNICEF also support countries who actually are willing to provide vaccines to their beneficiaries. And Nepal had started immediately after COVID-19, and so we actually initiated multiple events. For example, we actually integrate our program, immunization program, with other public health intervention. For example, Vitamin A initiative, Vitamin A campaign, and whenever we get opportunity, in every opportunity, we integrated